Hey y'all, I wanted to share a habit I noticed I have that might help someone else. It's my dog, sorry. If they notice that they have it as well. So I realized that this habit is of never giving myself the best when I'm in a social setting. So how this manifests itself is if I'm walking into a room that I know anyone besides me is going to be sitting in, I will automatically know and see or sense or whatever what the best or most comfy spot would be, or the warmest, whatever I want it to be. And if I think anyone else has the same desire as me, usually most of the time I'm like, oh, that's obviously the comfiest chair. That's not for me, that'd be so rude if I took it. So that's one of the ways. And what's the other thing? Food. I would see if we were doing potluck or something, you could see the biggest piece of something, or the piece that has the most cheese or the most topping or whatever, that's the most desirable, right? And I'd be like, oh, that's not for me, that I'm going to make sure someone else has that, because it would be so selfish if I took it for myself. Whereas I don't think 70% of the time anyone else notices, and I think I notice just because of the way I think, the skip thinking, meta thinking, and depth of processing from sensitivity. And then empathy, of course, is making me process how other people would feel about it. Anyway, I realized today that this is a unhealthy habit of mine, and I'm going to find a way every day to claim the best for myself. And despite what we may have been taught by our family or culture or our religion growing up, it will do wonders for our self-worth and our self-respect and self-love. And I even think that is associated to how much we value ourselves and how much money we can make because of how much we view ourselves to be worth. So why this is currently something that I do as a habit, I think started back when my mom taught us, in church, in any social setting, like a homeschool group. She would say, oh, don't take that, leave that for the other kids. And I know she meant well, and she was trying to teach us to be kind and share, and she was trying to teach us good values. And I always relate it back to this, but that's how I view the world. Being a highly sensitive person, it's easy to take the notion to put others first and run with it. Especially certain personality types or ways we were taught, or even women generally put others first. anyways, because that's what we were taught. And society tells us that, or tells boys and girls that they teach little boys apparently that if you want something, you go and get it, you take it, and you let nothing stop you. And so when that's taken to an extreme, there is a sense of entitlement or narcissism. And this is not just boys, but I'm going with very stereotypical gender roles here. And for women, when it's taken to an extreme to put others first and to be compassionate for other people's feelings, they might take it to the extreme and always put their needs or desires or wants last. And of course, those gender roles can be blurred. But so after leaving my house, I got married later, and my husband was taught the same thing, actually. And even to the point of whenever you write your name, Mr. and Mrs. blank, he had this little tick that, it would be rude to put your name first, right? My name first and my spouse's last name. That just came up for me. That's very interesting. So then after being with him, that actually got even more set in my psyche of notice what is the best and always make sure you don't take it. Make sure you always give it to someone else. Make sure someone else knows that you can give it to them. And maybe I got my validation from being the one that always gave the best away, maybe. But I thought that was a really interesting observation and kind of a self-deprecating habit. So I'm going to turn that on its head. I'm going to undo 24 years of conditioning and work on my self-worth as I am increasing my capacity to receive financial abundance, and I will find ways to choose or to claim the best for myself because I do deserve it. And that isn't to say that no one else deserves it as well, but I do believe that there's room for all of us once a day to see the best in a situation and say, I'm going to treat myself to that. I could give it away. What would make me feel better? And do that. And for some people, maybe if they always take the best for themselves, maybe what would make them feel more grateful or more self-worth would be actually to give it to someone else. Say if they're at a coffee shop and Starbucks, and there's only one seat left and they see an elderly couple walk in, and so instead they offer it to them first. So I will find a way tomorrow to claim the best for myself, and I hope that this has made you think about observing habits you might have that may not serve you. So thank you.